Okay, so lesson for today is lesson 8-8. Our math goal is to find the area and the perimeter of rectangles. All right, so what do you remember about perimeter? Let's pause the video and write down what you remember about perimeter. Okay, so hopefully you remember that perimeter is the number of the same linear units that fit around a figure. So here, right, around the figure. So it's a measurement, linear measurement around a figure, which means that it's a measure of length. So linear just means length, okay? So the perimeter is a distance around a figure, so around the figure. So the opposite sides of the rectangle are equal. So if this is 5, this is 5. So it's 5 and 5, and then 3 and 3, add it all together. 3 plus 5 plus 3 plus 5 is 16. So perimeter is just the measurement of something going around, okay? So this one's 16 centimeters. Okay, so there are some different formulas for rectangles to find the perimeter. So perimeter can find just by, like we just did, adding the length plus the width and the width, just like we just did. Or, right, you can multiply the two lengths together. So 5 and 5, right, two of those. So 2 times 5 is 10. And then two widths, a 3 and a 3. 2 times 3 is 6, which is 10 plus 6 is 16. Or you can add the length and the width, 5 and a 3, which makes 8, and then multiply it by 2, which gives you the 16. Okay, all different ways of doing it. All right, so now to area. What do you remember about area and how is it measured? Okay, also, what is the formula that we use for area? What is the formula to find the area of a shape? So pause the video and then come back to me. Okay, so the area of rectangles, right? We've been using a lot of that in 5th grade, right? So the area, remember, we measure it in square units. And remember that the square is, so the measurement that we're using of the square is a side length. We use units, right? Either like this one is centimeters. So in this case, right, if we're using centimeters, the unit would be centimeters, right? It would be 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter, the square that we use to measure, okay? And in this case, our formula, right, that we are used to using is length times width, right? To find the length times width, you can see it this way or that way or with a multiplication sign, right? So in this case, the area is the length is 5, the width is 3, so 5 times 3 is 15, okay? Pretty simple so far, right? Okay, so but now look at this one. This one has a fractional side, so we're using fractional side length. So same thing, to find the area, it's still length times width, it doesn't matter. What's the length on one side? 1/5. What's the width? 1/3. So it's just 1/5 times 1/3. 1 times 1 is 1, 3 times 5 is 15, 1/15. So the area of this fractional side is 1/15. It's just length times width. Simple as that, just like before. So don't let the fractions throw you off, okay? So you try one. Pause the video, find the area of this fractional side length of 4/5 and 2/3, then come back to me. Pause the video and then come back to me. All right, so hopefully you did 2/3 times 4/5. 2 times 4 is 8, 3 times 5 is 15, 8/15 square centimeters. Simple as that. Just multiply length times width. And remember, when we multiply fractions, numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator, okay? All right, to find the perimeter, same thing, okay? So this here is 1/5, so I have 1/5 plus 1/5, and then 1/3, 1/3 plus 1/3, because this is a fifth, this is a fifth, this is a third, that's a third. And I'm just going to add them up. 1/5 plus 1/5 makes 2/5. 1/3 plus 1/3 makes 2/3. I got to add them up by finding a common denominator. A common denominator would be 15, right? Because 5 times 3 is 15. So to get 15 on this one, I would have to multiply the top and bottom by 3. So if I multiply that by 3, I'm going to get 6/15. Multiply that by 3, I'm going to get 15. And then on this one, I would need to multiply the top and bottom by 5, right? 3 times 5 is 15. 2 times 5 is 10. Then add it up. 6 plus 10 is 16. 15ths. And then this is a mixed improper fraction, and I got to turn it into a mixed number. So 15 goes into 16 one time, and then how many more to it? 1 away to get to 16, so it's 1 and 1/15. Okay, simple as that. All right, so you try one. Find the perimeter, so add up all the sides, and then come back to me. Add up the 4/5 and 4/5 and 2/3 and 2/3, and then come back to me to check your answer. All right, so 4/5 plus 4/5 gives me 8/5. 2/3 and 2/3 gives me 4/3. Common denominator again was 15. Multiply top and bottom by 3 gave me 24/15. Multiply top and bottom by 5 gave me 20/15. Added 24 plus 20 gave me 44/15. This is improper fraction. Got to turn it into a mixed number. 15 goes into 44 2 times. That gives me 30. And then I'm at 30, so I'm 14 away to 44, so it gives me 2 and 14/15. And if you forgot how to add fractions, go back to Unit 1. I can't remember the name of the video, the number of the video, but it's back in Unit 1. I can't remember which video, but it's on my website, and it says, adding fractions. If you forgot how to do that, I'm not going to review that here today. Okay, one last thing you need to know for this lesson is how would you find the side length? So if I know that the area is 795 square feet, I know the length is 53 feet, how would I find the width? Stop the video and see if you can figure it out. Then come back to me. Okay, if you said, right, we know the area, so then I know that I need to divide, right? So I need to divide 795 divided by 53, and I'm not going to do the math here because you should know how to do that by now because we've already done that. We've covered that, but if you divide 795 by 53, you will get 15, okay? So to find an unknown, we just divide, right? Because if we know the area, we know the answer, and we have the length, we need to find the width, then we need to divide, okay? All right. So please do math page 283 in your big math book, and we'll go over the answers in class tomorrow. And if this is a Friday, then we'll go over it on Monday. I'm not sure what day I'm going to assign it, but we'll just go over it the following time we meet. Okay?